a lovely day, isn't it? And thank you for joining us. I never take you for granted on this platform, because I know it's not that easy to leave all that you do and sit down with me for 1 hour, of course with us, because I'm not alone. And today's issue is a very serious one. It is an issue that concerns all of us. Of course, our issues here always are very premium and concerns everybody. But today it's on traveling. Yes, even that word, I'm beginning to get scared of it because of what it entails. A lot of times about this season, people are planning to take a trip from one city to the other, from one village to the other, to reunite and celebrate with their families. It is something that cuts across not just those of us in Nigeria, but everybody in the world. And I don't know how it's going to be with these things happening around us today. I don't know how this season will be, but I know whatever it takes, we must still celebrate. Traveling is something we'll be looking at for today. What can we do to ensure that it's smooth and easy for every one of us moving from point A to point B? The show is Conversations, reaching you from NTA as usual. I usually will come here, with solutions, but today, I tell you the truth, I am going to sit down, listen to people give me solutions, including those of you who are out there. So the lines are open for you to send your messages either by WhatsApp or by text to give me solution what to do about this season. And I know that Dr. Henry is with me. Doctor,
good morning.
Nice to have you after a very long time.
Oh yes, it's been a busy year, but it's always a pleasure to be here.
Okay, I know that Hajia is seated. Hajia, please can you come in and join us? I know that one of the issues that happened to me, you may have experienced that as you came, which is why you're a little bit behind schedule. But do sit down. I was just telling you something that happened. This morning, I almost ran into an accident, coming to the studio. And I wondered why, because it was unnecessary. Nigerians are quick to blame people for things. Nigerians are quick to blame government over things, but we never really look at ourselves to find out, are we doing what we're supposed to do? Why am I going about? I was coming out right by the junction. The traffic light was red. So we all waited. There were about 4 cars in front of me. We all waited. It turned green for us. And green for us was 25 seconds. Some cars coming this way actually stopped, about 2 of them. The first 2 in front of us moved. They were all going this way. The third one wanted to go this way. I was looking at the other side of the road. One van is a furniture company. I don't want to call their names because I know the owner may not know what's going on, but I think they should be able to train their drivers. He came in with a speed. The guy in front of me was going to go this way, meaning that he was going to cross the main road, and go to the next lane and move this way. He didn't anticipate this van coming. And there was near head-on collision.
Probably on top speed.
I was watching it. I think because of his speed, I judged he was going to do just that. So I wasn't really on a speed myself. So it was easy for me to swerve because the guy immediately swerved this side to give the van a way to pass. And the van continued. I actually thought maybe he had brake failure or something. And the next stop of traffic lights, there were fleets of cars, they all blocked the road. So he stopped. So his brakes were working.
Absolutely.
And I wonder why he had to do that.
Absolutely. I think it's a general problem that is just happening everywhere now. The impatience, the level of impatience across board, and especially for motorists, is alarming. Imagine with me that either you or the person from the other side were to be in the same mode. There would have been a collision instantly.
Like 3 cars.
3 cars instantly. And then, of course, the damage, the life-threatening situation and all of that. So it is the level of impatience that has become so alarming. And these are the same people. We, the people, the Nigerians, will still be the ones that will complain that things are not working, people are not getting things done right. But in our own little ways, we create problems or create situations that manifest in bigger problems that will be beyond our control. Like you said, this same vehicle got to a point where he could not go beyond the point, so he stopped. So meaning that he had the ability to stop, he could have controlled his own movement, but he was just impatient. He felt he was the only one going somewhere. And again, like I had shared with you earlier, one of my biggest challenge with things like this is the people who shouldn't be doing this are people who know that they shouldn't do it.
Exactly.
The educated, the urban professionals, the people who had gone to school and they have traveled far and wide, they will still go to other parts of the world and not do the same thing.
It's very annoying. You know, I always make efforts when people beat traffic like that. You know, I look inside the vehicle to see if the boy driving or the young person driving has somebody at the back, you know. And a lot of times there is somebody at the back, and I'm wondering, why are you not controlling them? Are you encouraging, you know, this thing? That's why a lot of times about this period, they say the village people, the spiritual people, they are all out to suck blood, you know, because it's Ember month. But I tell you, it's not about sucking blood.
Absolutely not.
I think it's our own carelessness.
Absolutely.
Okay, Hajia, you're welcome. But before I get you talking, I want to, you know, quickly touch base. We're talking about traveling in Nigeria about this time. We need to safeguard our lives. We also need to ensure that certain people who are responsible play fair with Nigerians. A young man walked up to us not too long ago and made some complaints, and I was particularly happy because I'd read that very complaint from a newspaper, and when he told us the story, I begged him to see if we can capture it, and he did. Let's hear it from Chukuma.
I got to the airport 2 hours before time because I made it a point of duty to always get to the airport before time. Upon arrival, I was with my colleague. We went straight to the counter. After they weighed our bags, tagged our bags, and then told us to go to queue. We got to the point. You know the regular routine checks. They asked for my ID card. And they checked and said, they nodded. They also asked my colleague his, he gave them the nodded. They said, okay, we should just give them some time that they were having some network glitches. So my colleague and I went to the private lounge there and sat down. Then, after like about 10 minutes or 12, 15 minutes, we saw that people were being checked in, people that came later than we did. So I told my colleague, I said, okay, Mustafa, apparently it's like they have resolved the problem, let's go back and check in. Then when we got there again to check in, the guy told me, oh, so sorry, they are still having some network glitch. Then I asked the lady, but what about the people I saw you checking in? He said, those are government officials. Then it rang on my head, bam. And I asked, please, is this a private airline or a government airline? Do they have anything with government? I said, is it not based on first come, first serve, since everybody had their ticket? The woman felt like she knew she goofed. She didn't speak again. Do you know the one that annoyed me most? The guy told me, please, can I help sub them? Can I give them my network so that they can use it to see if they will resolve the problem? I mushly and foolishly gave them activated my hotspot. He said, okay, that their own is working now. We stayed there. Then one other guy, I picked his name is Chidi. Chidi came out and said, Oga, I think it's not what I'm suspecting that's going on. I think it's not what I'm suspecting that's going on. It was then I asked the man, what is actually going on? We need to be checked in. Can we now be checked in? The man ignored us. Then I tried to make one or two moves to see if we could do some noise to see if we could get his attention. The guy didn't say anything, ignored us. Then he kept checking in people. But what I later discovered was that everyone that came, he would check your name. They had finished checking people in, printed all the boarding pass. So at that time I came, what they did was they checked my name to see if I was among those that they printed his boarding pass. And I didn't know. So when people come, they will check, they will look, collect your ID, then give you boarding pass. So before you know it, the plane was fully boarded. And the guy openly told us that he's sorry that they oversold. They'll have only two options: to go back and come back on Monday because that's the next time they'll have flight to Abuja, or we can request for outright refund.
You can reschedule me. Sorry.
Or you can apply for a refund.
You can reschedule me to Monday for what?
You can reschedule for Monday.
So who is still going to take care of my hotel accommodation?
I held myself. Because at that point in time, I felt like, one, this man took me for a fool. If you had told us earlier that they had issues or they had overbooked, we would have started early to look for alternatives. This guy wasted about 2 hours, kept lying to us, kept deceiving us, and finally told us that there was no arrangement for, okay, airport, okay, how did you manage? Okay, how are you going to do? Since we are causing you this pain, no apology, no nothing. What he kept saying is that we are sorry. You know, all this regular, reluctant, we are sorry. You couldn't see any empathy on his part. Because I felt why they did that is because they take Nigerians for granted. We are about 13 of us, only 11 of us were able to put down our names. I could forward you the names and their phone numbers. If you want to make inquiries, you can.
It's really sad. It's really sad. And I'm sure the airline know themselves, and we also have agencies that will speak on that. Because all of us sitting down here, we just said we've had our own shared experiences. You were just telling me about your own.
Yes, actually it was my husband.
Okay.
He was traveling from Abuja to Bauchi by air, and I don't know what happened. After reaching there, on them to start boarding, and they said they've rescheduled the
flight?
Yes, so they have to change to another flight, but the thing did not work. So they spent almost 12 hours there, and at the end of the day, they have to resort to traveling by air, by road.
By road. Wow. 12 hours.
No apology. Nobody was there.
No apology.
No apology.
Have they refunded him?
Actually, they said he can use the tickets in another.
I think that, and this is me being fair, there are a lot of reforms happening around the airline industry, and I give some credit to the Honorable Minister, who is trying to bring in a lot of new ways of doing things. However, there is still the people problem. The people, the airlines, the people who work there. I personally had an experience coming back from Lagos to Abuja. I'd had a ticket, had checked in online, got to the airport, and then they said their system was down and they couldn't board me. But then I needed to now buy a new ticket to be able to come back.
Wow.
Now, of course, we spent an hour arguing, and then as you're making this argument, you're looking at the clock, the time is ticking, and they're selling tickets to other passengers. So I got forced to buy a new one, and then with the promise they are going to refund. Now, second, things can break down, but the people also take advantage of us all, and take from the highest bidder, take from somebody so profit for them is what determines who gets on board. Chances are that it is still the people who abuse the system. But if we have a situation where these reforms that are being put in place and the regulatory bodies actually implement the sanctions and see that it happens, and then we all speak up, and then these things are implemented, then we can begin to say that the reforms are working. So it's not enough to put a policy, it's also to see it through.
Yes.
Rescheduling flights and cancelling them can happen for safety reasons. Usually they tell you for safety reasons, precautionary measures,
Yes.
you think your own safety first. But then they are also abusing it. When you throw it too much at our faces and nobody actually sanctions them, then we're pretty just wasting our time.
Exactly.
You know, that video we took the cutaway. Intentionally, we didn't want to expand all of it, you know, since we haven't actually balanced the reports. I heard a woman saying, I need to go. I have a flight to catch for the US this night.
Wow, collateral damage. You missed this.
You
you're gonna
miss this, you miss the other one. So, I mean, before you even agree, I know that airlines are serviced quite on a regular basis. And if it's not like your car that just wake up and there's a problem. Usually, even the car that wakes up and have a problem,
Would
it
have
would have
given
been
you
warning
signs
you
before.
since.
Yes,
You know, then when you refuse to listen to it, then it happens.
Even
So
human
if-
system.
Human system, you can't just wake up and faint. It's
Absolutely.
been there. You refuse to, pay attention to it.
Exactly.
You keep thinking you're
I
playing
can manage,
God.
I can manage it.
I can
Yes.
manage. So if the airline operators can begin to listen to the airlines before they actually break down, then we'll have a less problem. If it's weather, we'll always know.
Of course.
Because
of course.
everybody will cancel.
Airplanes don't just malfunction.
You know, so I had experience that was quite bad. I bought tickets, myself and my family, everybody, you know, and it was quite a lot of money going down to Port Harcourt.
It is a lot of money right now.
It is.
So imagine carrying the whole family. Going down to Port Harcourt. We did go, we paid to and fro. You know, when you're a civil servant, you know where you're going, you know where you're coming back.
Yes.
So we paid to and fro. When we wanted to come back, some people were going earlier than the others. The person that had exams, you know, for early January,
Needed to come back earlier.
2 days to the exams, to her leaving, they cancelled.
Wow.
Not rescheduling, cancelled. So we had to follow one down to the airport, got her a new ticket, just go. They refund, said when you go back, you apply. When we were now going finally, one person's ticket was also cancelled. You know, we're talking about hundreds of thousands.
Yes.
So we had to, when we got down to Abuja, we went straight, made complaints. They gave us form, we filled. I came back, I didn't see email after a while. When some other person was going, I went back to the airport, made complaint, they will reach me. They never did. After some months, we're talking about 2 years back.
Wow.
After some months, I checked again with the airports because you send them mail, they don't answer.
The same customer
No
service
reply.
issues. Yes.
You know,
cut across.
do I need to keep going to
No
the
particular
airports to-
airline except
There are
exempted.
two different
They're all the
airlines.
same.
There are two different airlines. In fact, I had experience with Max Air. I had experience with Arik. You know, at the same time. So I kept going back and forth, and I'm telling you, up till now, the money has not been refunded. They're now asking me to bring certificates of when my mother died, when she'll be buried, when she'll be exhumed. You know, all manner of things. And I'm looking at it. It's not fair on Nigerians.
Absolutely.
It's not fair on you cancelled. You sent me a message. It's in my phone. I bought ticket. It's in my phone. You're not supposed to drag me to collect the money.
It's not.
Can I also stretch this a bit? I don't want to restrict this to the airlines alone.
Yes.
Even road transporters do the same.
Are you serious?
Oh yes. Now this is the end of year seasons where we expect a lot of people to travel. There are people who are planning to put on the road vehicles that they know that they will not get to the destination.
True.
So it is again the people problem, where people are always thinking, how do I shortchange the system? How do I maximize the period? How do I make a margin? How do I make the profit that I haven't made from January to November, suddenly want to make it in December?
Yes.
There are people who are trying to put vehicles in a shape, supposedly ready to make the trip, but they do know that these vehicles can. So these are the kind of people that will put people in those vehicles and supposedly be headed to, say, Port Harcourt, like you said, and then they get to Lokoja, the car is broken down, and they tell you, sorry sir, there's nothing we can do. We're waiting for mechanic to come from Abuja. Do you have money to take? Maybe you can take another, or while you're waiting, you advise yourself.
Yes.
Because
of
you have a
security
deadline to
reasons.
meet up, you have an exam to catch up, you have a burial to attend, you have a family event. But then the bigger question is, must you even go? But we'll come to that. We'll come to that. But then people are now taking advantage of others to just make profit. Again, it comes back to the people problem. I am not using one brush to paint everybody and say they're all the same, but we must recognize that the same thing that is playing in the airline industry is also happening in the road transport sector. And it is something that as a people we must see and decide for ourselves that this is not the way to go.
But why would somebody put a vehicle that is not in order?
Profit.
I don't know. But if there is an accident, for instance, is the driver, in any way assured,
Exempted from it.
spiritually insured and assured? It's just a
No,
question.
Especially this season, the drivers seems like they don't even rest. Somebody might travel from here to Bauchi,
And
which
turn
is
around
around
again.
6 to 7 hour journey, and if he
How
will
many
get
hours?
passengers, 6 to 7 hours.
Okay.
So if he will still get passengers, he will still turn back, and he will not sleep. He will not rest, and the body needs rest, and as a result, he might end up causing damages, causing
Absolutely.
road accident, or even the car is not even giving
In a
the required
good shape to be able to make
service,
the trip.
the tires, the engine, the servicing of the engine, and other things. All these things need to be put into consideration so that everybody will be safe, and especially with this insecurity going around, the car might end up breaking in nowhere, in the middle of nowhere, and things happen. So we need to let them know the danger behind all these things that are happening, and then they should be looking at both sides, the profit and the safety, and even the safety of the car. If he's not managing the car with small expenses, he might end up using huge amounts, all the money he collected to repair the car or things like that.
Prevention is always
Yes,
better than cure.
Yeah.
exactly.
And now you talk about expense. I recall what we are used to having around here, and like you mentioned, it's not just in the airline. It's also not just in transportation. I have visited some places where during festive period, they expect that there will be upsurge in buyers, and then of course sales will come down because they believe in the more you sell, the more profits you
Naturally.
make. But in Nigeria, have you observed that during a peak period,
Peak periods like this.
cost of everything it goes up rather than coming down,
Coming
including
down.
the transport we're talking about. And I'm wondering why.
For me, I still think when you go beyond the shores of here and you go to the Europe or to the Americas and all of that, this is the time where they do sales. People do programs or bring up products and crash the prices so that they can sell more. Unfortunately, it is not so here. Now, rather than people crash prices to make sales, prices are upped to maximize profit. Again, it is a people problem. Government has nothing to do with this.
Exactly.
Demand and supply has nothing to do with this. So it's not even economics. It is simple greed. It's just people thinking, how do I take advantage of the next person? And I think it's something that is very ungodly for us as a people.
Exactly.
We should look at, this is a celebration time. Even if it's not for religious purposes, for the sake of end of year. So there is some celebration that is happening towards end of year. How do we create that joy and merriment where everybody is happy that the little that you have can be enough for you?
Exactly.
But the chances are that the little that you have, you may not be able to afford it anymore. Because the cost of transportation will double, the prices of goods will double. Even as little, someone jokingly said yesterday, there's no chicken to kill this year. So the chickens are celebrating.
I was listening to some group of kids, just having fun talking. They said this egg we buy anyhow. That is so expensive now.
Yes, it is.
But the other one, it was a group of doctors really. The other one said perhaps the chicken, the hen now are doing IVF to conceive, so it's expensive. No, the other one said no, even when they finish, they have to deliver through CS.
It's becoming more expensive.
So it gets more expensive.
And
But then, go ahead.
What's usually baffling me is that instead of us as human beings take care of each other, show love, embrace each other, see how we can bring ourselves together and, celebrate together in whatever occasion. But it's like, it's far different. The thinking is far, far, far beyond what we expect. Religiously, we are not supposed to like put hardship on our people. Yes, I always remember this saying that is a prophetic tradition that says, none of you is a believer if you cannot love for others what you love for yourself. So if you are the one, maybe you are the one having the car, and then you hike the price, instead of like from Abuja to Plateau is, I think, 10,000, 12,000, but during this festive period, it should be around 15, 16. Bauchi is around 12 to 16,000 now. It might increase. So you, because you are a driver, you use the excuse of fuel scarcity, fuel expenses, high cost of fuel. You now increase the price. Then you must eat rice. Then you go to the market, use that same money that you collected
Catalyst.
to buy the rice. And that person is trying to get more money from you to use it to pay for another thing. So why are we doing this?
It's just going round the circle.
Yes.
So there's a question I ask. There's a question I ask. Every time there's an end of year season where prices go up, I ask people, is there a science to why you're increasing your price? If not greed. So let's set it aside. Is it that suddenly, if you're buying from major dealers or distributors, did they hike up their prices? And as a result, you have to increase yours?
Those major dealers actually do promos.
Exactly. So that's where I'm going to. So those major dealers, they do promos so that you can sell more. So who increases the price?
The layman in the...
So it is the regular man in the street.
Yes.
And because you have increased your price, the transporter, like Hadia said, who came to buy from you, will increase his cost.
True.
And then the boy who will carry load for you at the motor
Will
park
also increase.
will increase his own cost. And the whole cycle continues. So we're actually creating our own problem.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly.
And
So
we blame
there's
it on
that
government.
mind shift that must happen.
We blame it on government and village people.
And we
Anyway.
are used to that. We are used to that. Every small thing is the government.
It's the government.
It's not the government.
Just as you mentioned earlier, the truck driver, what has that...
What changed?
Yes.
What
it's
changed
not-
to
the
increase the
government
price?
has no... They put even the traffic light there, the station in
Yes,
there,
there was
so that you
traffic lights.
control the traffic
Yes.
to avoid accident. But he is doing that in case something will happen. That's how God wants it. It's God,
Or it's my
God-
village
Yes, it's my village. Something happened. You just find excuse to attach it there, and, which is not fair. To
You know,
so
when you
many
talk
people.
about hiking price during festive season, beyond the transport which we're looking at, I actually saw something last year in a shop. Again, I'm not going to name names because I told them personally what my observation was. What they did was they removed the expiry date of a product and put another one. It was supposed to have expired like January. They removed it and put June. So, and then they now put it on promo sales for December period, And then the price, where they had the old price, it was like 1,000 something. It was a mouthwash. Then they now removed it, rearranged the 1,000 to 7,000. So, and it was still on sale. I told the person that I met, I said, if I come back tomorrow and meet this thing, I'm calling police for you people because this is wrong. It was actually somebody I went to the shop with said, look at this thing, the stickers at the back. It's funny. So I said, how do we go about it? He said, something is not right. We now went where we thought we had a secret, because they always have their camera, tried to scrape until we were able to gently pull out a bit and saw those things. We raised alarm, and I followed suit the next day, not the next day immediately, it was 2 days after, to go and check. So when people are putting things on sale, it's good for us to look hard. And if it's a product in the shop, beyond what they have pasted, look around the container, the container, the product
Especially
pack.
something that you consume.
Especially consumable,
Yes.
Serious.
And that's pretty dangerous.
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous.
And I tell people, if you produce fake thing, if you sell expired products, you don't know who is going to eat it.
Yes.
Because I could buy it, not for my consumption. I could also buy it for my consumption.
give
And
it
as
to
I
your
open
family
it,
member.
exactly, as I open it, your daughter, your child,
Yes.
your mother could walk
Yes.
in without you knowing, and they consume that
Like
thing.
train is thrown into the
You know,
market.
so it's unfair for you to do that and give out to the public. You don't know who is going to take it. Anyway,
Again, like I said, businesses like that shouldn't exist.
Honestly.
Places like this should actually be shut down so that the next shop down the road, the next
Will
business
learn.
down the road will hear and will
The
not
reason.
make the same mistake. But unfortunately, our system hardly ever takes care of situations like this. And people like this have no business being in business.
if I even reported them, they'll probably go and sort somebody and still come back
So
anyway.
we create our own problem and then we hold ourselves down. Shops, outlets like that should be closed down.
And this has to do with consumer care, like consumer
Protection agency.
Yes.
They have to sit up and do their investigation. They should have their people around, especially during this.
Season. They should
Season,
go
yes,
around.
they
really.
should go
All those people who are doing sales,
Yes.
they should go
Take a
and
look at
their
that.
sales
And
stands
see
and
what is
monitor what they are selling. All right, I see viewers and our participants behind camera writing in here. I hope I'll be able to take as many as possible because there's so many of them here. But let's start from someone from Jos. He said his name is Rejoice. Rejoice says, good morning. Have you noticed that during this period, fuel is scarce and the smaller stations sell higher? Almost everything is dependent on the fuel price. So let the poor rest. Okay. Okay, so the truth is, this year, what's your experience?
Actually, the fuel is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Every
available.
filling station
It's
is
available.
abundantly, but the money to buy is not there. The
Because
money to buy is not there because even the salary alone is not enough for you to fuel your car to and fro till the end of the month, talk less of buying other things like foodstuff and health issues and other things. So the money is, we just need to
Just mind where
manage,
you're
and
going to.
Everybody should be a manager.
All right.
It's called lifestyle change.
Yes. Okay, so hello, good morning. I really cherish your program. My take over all these issues is we as Nigerians are the major problems because of our greed and selfish attitude. However, the government still have roles to play. Let government regulatory bodies rise up to their task and put proper rules and laws in place that will work. Thank you, Teddy Adams from Lagos. Teddy, thank you very much. And I hope Lagos people, you're not planning too much to travel because I'm just told that the fuel is expensive, but we'll take more. Impatience and lack of driving knowledge, rules, thereby disobeying the rules which may result into an accident. Cameras can be deployed to every critical area to monitor drivers excessive in the city center while traveling long distance. Speed limit signs must be installed on major roads. Road safety personnel are required to intensify monitoring during the season. Augustine from Lagos. Lagos people are awake.
Yes.
A lot of messages coming here from Lagos. And he actually made very valid points.
Yes, he did.
Absolutely.
Very valid points. Some transporters actually put speed limits.
Speed limiter. There's actually a device like that.
Yes,
Yes.
you can install it in your car.
I think
You
there's
know,
some around this Abuja.
No, there's even a
Road,
gadget that you can put in the vehicle.
in the
itself.
vehicle,
that
you won't
limits
let you pass
Yes,
certain
it
limits.
exceeds certain
You know,
speed limits.
I think even parents can install that for
No,
their
but then
children.
you see, again, it's not so much about gadgets and the policies. It's implementation. Yes, you may not overspeed, but even at 20, you can beat the traffic light.
Exactly.
Yes.
Even at 10, you can park at the wrong place. It is people doing the right thing.
The man side.
So you can put the gadgets, you can put the road safety, you can put the cameras, and people will still do the wrong thing.
You
I
know-
think one of the people who wrote in said, it is just us not choosing to do the right
The
thing.
Do the right thing, yes, human factor. Choosing to do the right thing, this period, a lot of people are going to come out from school, young people,
Yeah.
they are going to handle cars.
Oh.
And they're going to cause a lot of accidents. When my children were old enough to drive, and I sent them the first driving school, they came out. I sent another one, they came out. I had to watch. I saw they were a lot more better. I got a private tutor to walk with them while they go and come. Before I even, I could have done it myself, but then, being a parent and you're loving them, you'll be in a panic state. You're always the wrong person to train your child. So it was when it was 100% sure. I still took them to road safety. For the normal process, first of all, they had to go through the training of the road safety, read books on driving, did tests and passed before they gave them the certificate.
Absolutely.
Somebody asked me, why are you going through this stress now? You can always buy it. I said, I carried these children 9 months, went to labor room, it was not funny. So it's either they kill themselves if they don't do the right thing, or they bring problem for me.
I just wish that everybody would do what you have done.
Exactly. That was
because driving in Nigeria or everywhere else is not about you alone. It's about the other road user. If you're doing the right thing and the person you talked about in the other story, the experience you had, chooses not to do the wrong, not to do the right thing, there's still a problem.
I actually did the same thing.
We need to also, this is me now saying, there is need to include some level of traffic and driving lessons in the curriculum that is taught at our schools.
Yes.
In some parts of the world, children actually learn driving lessons
in school,
academically first.
Yes.
Before they begin to do the practice.
That's the
they learn the basic things of when to look left and look right and look left again, and where not to park. Just the basic things of going up the stairs and staying on the right and coming down and staying on the right. Just basic things that you should teach elementary.
Yes.
If you have those kind of
this
lessons.
This would be good maybe if they will implement it inside curriculum, social studies or something like that.
So everybody has a basic, whether you have a car or not, you learn it from childhood.
All these vocations.
It's true. Because if you're going to go through school system for 6 years, another 6 years before going to university, and gradually it's inculcated. Every year,
you just know that this is how to do it.
By the time you're there, learning, it's a question of constant exposure. Then it photographs in your brain. While we're raising this part is parents, we know you can afford to buy your children cars. We know you can put fuel. But we also know that you cannot guarantee the lives of your children if they do not know how to drive. Please carry your car key. And then at the same time, road safety, whoever that is in charge, we also need you to sit up a little bit more. I know you're trying. And look at the documents of drivers on the road. It's important to avoid accidents. All right, another person says here, I see two things that are fundamental. If we have an efficient judicial system where we can get quick justice and fairly too, if we have a good and effective public transportation system, intercity land and air transport, these issues may be reduced significantly. Yeah, if we have traffic, what do they call it? Mobile courts.
Yes.
Mobile courts.
If we had one, I would have gone to that place to report this guy. And the company would have paid.
In Abuja, around area 1.
But they are just far in between. They're far in between. And by the time I came here, really, they are not open.
Yes.
So, good morning, madam. The rates at which cooperative societies are defrauding people of their savings is alarming. We were defrauded 100K recently. Government should look into it. We're discussing traffic. Okay, noted. All right. My director tells me that he is back on track. How much is transport going now, and how much are air tickets at the moment?
The festive seasons are here, and expectedly, there's always heavy movement of people from city to city or villages to reunite with their loved ones. And this unarguably attracts costs. In the past, the costs, though heavy, were always a joy to folks. But with the global increase in cost of living, one wonders if the joy will fit the cost. But far beyond costs, are there other reasons to deter citizens from their usual travels, especially during this season? For starters, let's look at the average cost of journey with any of the fellow medium of transportation in Nigeria today. Approximately A journey of 1 to 5.2 miles is expected to cost 10,000 naira by Christmas. And we know that the higher the mileage, the higher the price. On average, most airlines are charging about 1 million naira for a round trip, with Eastern Nigeria placed on the highest. For train rides, we have an average of about 5 trains that leave Abuja on a daily basis, and an average ticket for approximately a 2-hour train ride to Kaduna costs 2,500 naira upwards. We are hoping that as the festive period deepens, the price list doesn't go up, because this season is a rejuvenating one for friends and families. And to ultimately enjoy it, movement must be made.
I'm not even going to bother myself this year. I'm not going to bother. But all the same, now people are asking us questions here. Dr. Inebu, I think I want you to check this. He said, my name is Ihotu from Port Harcourt. I love this discussion. I would like you to help enlighten passengers, not only drivers. Should be educated. What should be the prerogative and activities of passengers at this point? I mean, regards to their own safety.
Okay, particularly regards to safety. First, I'll throw in this, and then I'm sure it's something we'd like to talk about again. Must you travel? But let's leave that. But if you must go on the journey, it's a number of things you must do. Okay. Don't just go with the transport money alone in your pocket. Just take an extra.
In our own environment,
yes,
we call it vex money.
Vex money. Just take an extra. Knowing the circumstances around
the country
where you are. This is Nigeria, let's be honest. A number of things can happen. From the car breaking down to the road being blocked by other incidents that have nothing to do with you, to needing to take care of yourself on the road. Just take an extra. That's one. Travel early for safety purposes. Don't leave late if you're going to go on a 6-hour journey. Don't leave at 12. You put your life at risk.
True.
You also put yourself in a situation where you're entering a vehicle that didn't even plan to go, that decided to go because you came. So take that precaution of getting there early, so you're amongst the first, like they say, the first bus. At least that is certain that you want to go to the location, not that it's a bus that they are adding because there are more passengers. Come out early, wear comfortable clothing. Comfortable clothing, because if you sit in a vehicle for long, chances are if you're wearing tight-fitted clothes or shoes, you're going to get very health-related discomfort will come.
True.
So wear comfortable clothing, dehydrate yourself, take a bottle of water or something. If you must go, we're talking road travel here, but those are some, just a few for me. And don't eat something that will affect your system as you're leaving early, because you can never really tell. Just everybody knows, eat before you travel. Eat. If you don't have to eat, don't eat. So those are just a few from my point.
Okay, I just want to add that
important.
before you board the vehicle, I also think that it's important you get to know the driver.
Oh yes.
Going to carry you.
Yes. Have a conversation. Engage.
Find out whether he's cerebral enough to,
or even if he's
in his right mind. That's what I didn't want to use.
Yes, just have a conversation with the person.
Yes.
But then I also see what happened in some of these bus parks, and just studies showing that chances are that you don't even get to meet the driver until you're just about to leave. So insist. I want to know who is driving me today. So just go the extra mile and ask the question.
And also the car, you need to check the tires. And if it is during rainy season, as the wipers and other things, the lights, if it is late, if all these things are working. If not, anything can happen on the road.
True. The tires are very important. Check if
sometimes you see the tires.
Do you have a spare tire?
Yes.
Yes.
As basic as Oga driver, is there a spare tire in this car?
You can actually ask that question.
My son was traveling from here to Jos, and then they hit someone along the road. They had an accident around Uki. So the driver hit someone, and the person, I think he has some fracture and other things. And along the road, it's difficult to get another car that will take you So they have to wait. And then the driver was like, if you can go, you can go. For them to go to Jos, they have to get a car or a vehicle that will take them to Kefi, that's the nearest park, or come back to Nyanya to get another vehicle that will take them. So it's either for them to wait for him there or to move. As you said, you should have
at their own
extra.
expense.
Yes, if you are having like exact amount or a little bit.
You have
so
no
all
choice.
these things, and the driver is not refunding. He will tell you that you have fueled the car, and
In fact, he left the money at the park. He handed it over to someone.
you will just be stranded. Nobody is going to take you on the road just like that from there free of charge. No, it's difficult, and for safety reasons, you yourself will not like to
enter any vehicle.
Yes.
I also think again that when you're a passenger in the car, it's important for you to keep an eye on your driver. Ensure that he's not going to fall asleep.
Don't sleep off yourself.
You know, that means that you too will not sleep.
Yes.
Because if all of you sleep, the driver is a human being too.
Yes.
So it's important, as the driver is taking a rest in the night, you too should take your rest.
Exactly.
So that you
Very
can be a
important.
co-pilot. Another person says, good morning all. We need to do the right thing, even while no one is there. This Yuletide season, the price of goods will skyrocket exponentially in the name of greed. Price control mechanism should be implemented, and if it's already in place, it should be enforced now, because we keep taking aside ourselves. Okay, that's a good one. Amos from Lagos is writing in. Somebody says, good morning. I think the Nigerian government should introduce some military agents that will be a counter towards this hardship that is influenced by regular Nigerians. For instance, I went to buy Cadbury from a mall at the rate of 2,400 per roll. On getting to my street, and I was told it was 300 per one. Why? I happened, perhaps there is one extra attached to the Cadbury. 900 naira profits per roll. Haba. And you say your name is Abdul Latif. Thank you so much for sharing this. I wish I had more time, but my time is fast winding up. But on a parting note, Ajem, I need you to talk to Nigerians. Like doctor said already, must we travel?
Actually, it's not necessary. It mustn't because everybody is traveling, you must travel. It depends on individual needs. Maybe if you are the head of the family or something that will warrant you must travel. But I would advise, wherever you are, you remain there. At least you will save more, and then for your own safety and for other things, because after the festive period, life continues.
True.
We'll resume and start talking about school fees for those of us that have
House
little
rent.
kids and house rent, and it's end of the year already, so the expenses continue. It's not that you just pack everything, spend it, borrow money, and then at the end of the day, you come and suffer it alone, and the festive period, you leave it behind, and you have to move on. And for other expenses like the food, the clothing, other drinks, and we need to share. We need to share, but let's do it according to our capacity.
Okay, thank you. Your parting notes?
I think it's something that we must agree that the times have changed. COVID introduced a lot of doing things differently. This is 1 year as Nigerians. We must sit down and tell ourselves the truth. And this is me speaking to my Southeast brothers and sisters and families, saying we mustn't go. We mustn't. And the good thing about life today is that you can have some virtual participation. That Umuna meeting, that event you must attend, someone can put up a Zoom link or a virtual window that you can have some feeling of staying there. Let's be honest to ourselves. This is 1 year. that if we used to have 10,000 persons leave Abuja to travel, this year we're not having 5,000 because of cost of traveling.
Okay.
So we must stay together and maximize our resources because January is coming.
And a lot of villages, like you mentioned, they have their communities scattered across the globe. So we can still have
Create that
village fluent
in Abuja.
fund. In Abuja,
The Igbo
in
community in
Lagos,
Abuja, come
all
here
of them
and
come
do your
together.
thing.
So you save your costs. And the last I checked, Christ was not born in my village. We
Oh
don't-
yes,
you
wherever
can-
you are,
he was born.
Christ will be born
and
there.
when it's New Year, we're all in the same time zone. New Year will happen when it's happening here, it's happening
Absolutely.
there. So if you mustn't travel, don't travel. All right? We'll see you again next week, another exciting moment. And whatever you do, be a good citizen. Festive period, non-festive period, drive as if the next person, the next car is carrying your loved ones. Bye.
Bye.